Why do I train? My oldest brother beat the crap out of me all the time when I was a little kid. And so I wanted to get bigger and stronger so that he wouldn't beat the crap out of me anymore. So I started lifting weights just randomly like most people do. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just had like a cheap home weight set, like a Joe Weider weight set, I think it was. When I started personal training, that wasn't even really talked about. Like powerlifting as it is now was an anomaly. There was no functional movement, there was no CrossFit, there was no powerlifting unless you probably got lucky and you knew a couple guys that were powerlifting in their garage or something like that. I remember there was one trainer at the gym where I worked at who was a power lifter, but we didn't know it at the time. I only know this in hindsight, looking back on what he was doing, because he was like bringing in bands, bringing in chains, but he was the oddball and nobody knew what he was doing. They didn't understand it. They were just like, oh, okay, there's the weird guy doing shit with bands and chains again. That power lifter, way back when I first started training, he was freakishly strong. And that always kind of shocked me, and that kind of stuck in my mind that it was impressive what he was doing with that barbell. Because I had never seen somebody bench 500 before that guy came along. I didn't even know that was possible until that guy came along. So I guess if there was a defining moment in the back of my mind with a barbell, it would have been that trainer. When I started the gym, it actually wasn't even a powerlifting gym yet. It was more of a personal training space, a private space for me and clients that followed me from the corporate gym to the now private training studio. And so we actually started by going and trying to find a cool gym to just go and train at. Instead of training at my studio, I was like, well, I kind of want a change of scenery anyway. Let's go and find the cool gym that we want to be part of, and we'll just pay for memberships and we'll go there. And we couldn't find anything like what we were looking for. And we started realizing that a gym that's more barbell focused, more strength sports focused, didn't really exist on the peninsula as Fullsterkur currently is. And so at that point, we're like, well, we can't find this gym that we want to be part of, so let's just build it. And at the time, I knew that people were really starting to get a lot more interested in barbell sports. And the main focus of those was powerlifting. And that's kind of why it took a turn towards powerlifting, even though I didn't originally come from a powerlifting background, because I saw what everybody was doing and what everybody else seemed to be looking for but wasn't finding. I got lucky, I guess, and there were a lot of people looking for the same thing that I was looking for, and I just happened to be the one that ended up building it. So it was really cool to see a lot of people come in and look at the space, and they would get it. And they would be like, oh man, this is really cool, this is amazing. And it didn't even really take a tour for somebody to be bought in, because if they walked through the door, they knew what they were looking at already and they wanted to be part of it. And as soon as they started meeting all the other members, it became apparent that they were among like-minded people who all kind of shared the same passion for lifting, but also wanted a place where you could actually hang out with people and talk with people and have that community feel that you're not really going to get if you go to a lot of the more corporate-y type of gyms. I don't know, I think we in a lot of ways attract a little bit of an oddball that's kind of off the beaten path. People that want something just a little bit different. I think people that go here, they're very serious about what they do. I think if I looked at rest of their life, I think I could see some very driven people in their professional life as well as their personal lives. And that follows them onto the gym floor as well. It's measurable. I think that's probably what really attracts me about it, is I can see, is there progress happening by tracking everything I'm doing on a day-to-day, set-by-set, rep-by-rep basis. Because I think that's the whole point of being alive, is to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. And I don't know. I don't understand people who aren't interested in growth or being better. It's pretty alien to me, honestly. It's a mindset I don't understand. I don't want to understand it either. That's where it all started, really. That and Arnold, because Arnold was the man when I was growing up. That was like the guy that everybody looked to. That's kind of why, when you're talking about powerlifting, why that? Nobody was really talking about that. It was always about Arnold when I was a kid.